Welcome to the weekend, Overwatch fans. We are in the middle of week 2 of stage 2 in the 2019 Overwatch League season. And boy, do we have some great matchups for you today. We'll start the day with the rematch of the 2018 Grand Finals. The champs are in the building. The London Spitfire are looking to move to 3-0 for the stage and avenge a stage 1 loss to the Philadelphia Fusion. The Fusion got the win against London on opening day. Philly is 7-3 and in the top 5 of our season standings. They will try to gain another victory against a familiar foe. This match starts in 30 minutes. Welcome inside the Blizzard Arena. The crowd is making their way in, and we are here to get you set for all the action. This is the Watchpoint Preshow presented by State Farm. I'm Malik Forte, joined as always by Zoe, Brent, and Sideshow. Guys, another Friday to Saturday morning transition. How you feeling?
I loved him. I loved him. I work really well on like 5 hours sleep. That's my jam.
You know, Krillin said hello to me in the corridors today.
Really?
What a great way to start the day.
I do feel blessed.
Yeah, that's
I know,
nice.
I know that he exists now as well, you know, for my
not just
first
a myth.
time witnessing.
I've never seen him in person. How is hair like?
Still rocking the hair, man.
You still rocking it?
All of it?
An
The bullet?
All the
legend
5
in my
style?
mind. All of it, yeah.
Nice.
All of it.
Fresh. Loving it, guys. Well, we've got a nice little Saturday planned for you all. You're going to want to stick around and enjoy this. BigGoose of the Los Angeles Gladiators knows that communicating in Korean can be very valuable in the Overwatch League. So he's learning it. We'll see what that process is like before LA takes the stage later tonight. BigGoose and the Gladiators will take on the Guangzhou Charge. You'll also see our Grand Finals rematch between London and Philly, as well as Dallas making their stage 2 debut against Toronto. Another Texas team, the Houston Outlaws, are also making their stage debut. The Outlaws could have their hands full, though, with the Vancouver Titans, who still have yet to lose a match in the Overwatch League. Houston finished stage 1 in the middle of the pack at 3-4 overall. If you're the Outlaws, Zoe, how do you prepare against this Vancouver juggernaut?
See, here's the thing, Malik. They had almost a month to prepare. That's quite a lot of time. Will that help you against Vancouver Titans? Probably not so much. I actually think that no amount of time can prepare you for what they can bring to the stage. However, in theory, on paper, I do think that the Houston Outlaws should look very good in this patch. They can go back to their comfort picks. We can see the J-Grad again. We can see Mooman Wrecking Ball, which I personally really like.
Yeah.
He's also looking pretty darn decent on Orisa. They have Dante now in the lineup, who not only plays a great Tracer, but also a Sombra. And we know how important that is in the current meta. So they are checking all the patch boxes. So I very much hope that this is what they take advantage of, rather than reverting back to a 3-3 composition.
Yeah, and I think looking at this Houston Outlaws squad, there's one player in particular that I'm looking forward to very much to seeing in this new meta that we're witnessing, and that's Linksa. Because this guy is a fantastic player. I've been following him in the EU scene for quite some time now, and he is really just a top-notch player in terms of his individual mechanics on the Widowmaker. And a lot of people don't know this because I found out this the other day. Apparently he's played no Genji in the Overwatch League so far, right? Yes,
Really?
I mean that's a little bit weird when we're looking at the statistics of it. 0 minutes played, hard to believe, but his Genji is also one of the things that he became known for and his signature role. And we're now moving into a meta game where it's becoming more and more important that they do play these roles, and especially against the Vancouver Titans. You do not want to be playing triple tank, triple support against this team. You need to be playing the damage dealing compositions. You need to be playing the cheese compositions. Right.
And I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but Houston Outlaws, welcome to stage 2. You are beginning by playing against Vancouver Titans. And let me tell you right now, you're probably not the team to be able to take them down. Look at this. The Vancouver Titans are unbelievably good. If you're a Houston Outlaws fan, this is against the policy of Watchpoint, everything we stand for. I'm recommending you turn on the game, you go and make a coffee, you go and clean your room for the first 3 maps, come back for the 4th, maybe the Vancouver Titans will let you squeak away with that one. Otherwise, it's going to be brutal. It's going to be brutal. The Titans have been crushing people left, right, and center. I'm excited to see them play as much as anybody, the Houston Outlaws, that is. But I'm expecting this to be a bit of a slapping. So, Houston Outlaws fans, keep the faith. I love how much faith you all have, and I'm sure it'll fire the team up. We'll see where it goes.
Wait, on the subject of faith, I got to follow up on that. What's the win condition for the Outlaws? Is there any way they can squeak a victory out of this one, or is they just gonna get trounced?
I mean, I don't know how how far away from the PG-13 we could get, but you could poison the whole of the Titans. That might do it.
Okay, sorry.
break a couple limbs. I don't know.
All right, well, while the Outlaws are playing their first match of the stage, the Guangzhou Charge already played 4. They're on their 4th match. The Charge will battle a Los Angeles Gladiators team that is 2-0 and looking strong in stage 2. Meanwhile, Guangzhou continues to struggle. They've lost 5 matches in a row and 19 straight maps. In fact, Guangzhou's last win was March 3rd. Bryn, how do the Charge prepare for the Gladiators today?
I don't think they do, Malik, honestly. This is such a difficult match to prepare for, genuinely, because not only does this team have a really difficult schedule, but they've also have back-to-back matches because they played the Shock yesterday, and now they're playing against the Gladiators again. This is very difficult for this squad, and they are one of the youngest teams in the league. They might not have the experience in preparing for this, right? And I just do feel for them because they have got an unlucky streak in terms of their scheduling, an unlucky streak in terms of the way their matches have kind of lined up in terms of how much preparation time they can put on this. And it is going to affect them mentally, and they are in a bit of a slump now, despite being a good team. We know that they are a good team. It's just an unfortunate set of circumstances.
Reminds me a lot of the Shock last year, growing pains. You know, they're just a young team that's growing. Now, on the other hand, the Gladiators have had 7 full days to prepare for this match. So how do you think they will attack the Charge today, Zoe?
Malik, honestly, I think, I don't know, 2 days would have done the trick as well. I think 7 is very generous. I do think the Gladiators should be taking this one with ease. One player in particular I want to shine a light on is their, last season or last stage, Zarya player DK, which now has been branching out a little bit. We saw him on Tracer, we saw him in Genji. I think he even played Bastion at some point as well against the Shanghai Dragons. And he's been looking better and better. He starts to come alive. He's starting to actually warm up. And that's what I want to see. I was impressed with his Zarya during the 3-3 meta. I think he did well, and I do think that towards the end of the stage, he found himself towards the upper half of Zarya's league-wide. But now I want to see him on those DPS heroes. I want to see him excel there.
Yeah, there's a big reason that he was such a hot commodity in the offseason, I think. But a duo that's always been working super well for the Gladiators, and one of the reasons that they are probably the 4th best team right now, in my opinion, is their backline, BigGoose and Shaz. These guys are the, well, obviously, you always have to preface this by saying there's a lot of incredibly good Korean players in the league, but these guys are probably the best non-Korean backline that we currently have in the Overwatch League. And BigGoose, you saw there, so high up in terms of his eliminations by boops, environmental kills. He's just speeding around the map, leaves all the healing to Shaz, making plays over and over. And now that Lucio is so powerful, the boop changes, the fact that we're playing so much triple tank, he can have a huge impact. So it's a backline that goes under the radar a little bit, but they're so strong and so reliable.
Right, the flashiest backline in the game. Now, the Charge will try to avenge a loss to the Gladiators from stage 1, much like London will against Philadelphia. When we come back, we'll break down the 2018 Grand Finals rematch, Part 2, coming up next on the Watchpoint Pre-Show, presented by State Farm.
The Overwatch League is brought to you by T-Mobile, now connecting 99% of Overwatch League fans. Catch your league on America's network, T-Mobile.
The Dallas Fuel will make their Stage 2 debut today against the Toronto Defiant. Toronto has been a top 5 team all season, but they are 1-2 this stage. We get a fresh look at Dallas today, who underwent some significant changes between stage 1 and 2, right, Sideshow?
Yeah, they definitely did. There was a coaching staff change to start it off, but also I think the biggest news that came from the Dallas Fuel, in my opinion, was the retirement of Effect, a guy that's been with this team for a long time. We're having a lot of discussions about this guy. He's a legend within the scene. Joined them in actually early 2017, and at one point looked like the best tracer in the world. Unbelievably powerful, so much potential, incredibly talented and skilled individual mechanical player, and well beloved by everybody in the scene as well. And unfortunately, his career kind of plateaued last season, didn't have the best results with the Dallas Fuel. The whole team was kind of under a slump, and coming into this stage as well, had his own issues and has ended up retiring. He's going to be with them as a streamer though, and I think his career has been one that people will remember as well. He was an excellent player.
As one legend leaves, they have gained another one as well in the form of Note, the off-tank player formerly of the Boston Uprising. They traded him for RCK, who was playing for them. And with this trade, they've lost a bit of flexibility. RCK was playing the Sombra for them, whereas Note is more just known for being just only a diva player. But I think this is very good for Dallas. Note is, heralded as one of the best Western off-tank players currently in the game, and he's a fantastically consistent player, which is something that Dallas, I think, really need. They need a lot of these consistent players to perform well on a regular basis. But I will say as well, if you look at all the top teams right now, the one consistency they've got is actually they just keep playing triple tank, triple support. They don't play much damage dealer comps, they don't really flex too much. They just play that consistently and consistently well. So Note coming into Dallas Fuel, I still think is going to be a fantastic addition for them, and they should be playing much better as a result.
Cool, big baller Note. It's going to be good seeing him in action today for the first time this stage. Now, Toronto has lost 2 straight matches, so what's not been working for the Defiant at the moment right now?
Malik, I really don't want to point fingers, but since you're asking me to point fingers, I just want to point a finger at Yapeng. Right, let's take a look at his stats and how he matches up against other tanks in this league.
He looks
not too well. He looks.
Yeah,
I'm sad too to look at those stats. I'd be crushed. Honestly, and I'm disappointed because I didn't think it's gonna actually be that bad. I do think he held his own at the very beginning when Toronto just started, but it got progressively worse. He's being picked up so much. His first death percentage is at 25%, and that's the worst amongst all Reinhardts in this league. Why is he getting picked off so much? I can tell you, he doesn't know how to actually play aggressive or get anything out of his
say Overwatch.
No, yeah, he doesn't know how to play Overwatch. It's an issue. No, like all he does right now is he goes in there and then he just puts his shield up, and that's it.
That's it.
That's it. Like he's not making actual an attempt in aggression. He's also not really playing passive. He just puts his shield up. So you need to stop being scared and actually get something done.
All right. Well, we'll see if Yapeng can get things back on track today. But guys, we are just about 15 minutes away from another rematch between our 2018 Grand Finals opponents. The London Spitfire won that Grand Finals, but dropped the rematch against Philadelphia on opening day. The Fusion haven't been dominant, but they have remained a top 5 team in the standings all season. Bryn, how important is this match for the Philadelphia Fusion?
This is incredibly important because Philadelphia Fusion are a team that they had an easy stage 1 schedule. They got a lot of wins that, maybe you can argue they should have got them, obviously, because they won them fair and square. But stage 2, different turn of events, really. If you look at the matches they've had, they had a very tough schedule so far. Going up against the New York Excelsior, they're going to be playing against them a little bit later, and the San Francisco Sharks, 2 of the best teams in the league right now. Playing against the Spitfire today, compared to those 2 teams, looks like a bit of a walk in the park. It's still going to be a tough opponent for them. If they manage to take a win today, I think it is a winnable game for them. And then they've got Outlaws as well, also a winnable match coming up for them. If they manage to take those 2 wins, they've had a pretty good stage, all things considered, considering their opponents that they were playing against.
And we can lay off of them a little bit.
Exactly.
Maybe.
Yeah,
give them some respect. All right, now London has began the stage 2-0, so are they back to that championship form that we saw them at last year?
I'm not sure if I'm that confident saying that just yet. Same with the Philadelphia Fusion, who have a bit of an up and down. It's the same with London. The first match they had this stage, I was not convinced at all. It was scrappy. They did not look prepared for this particular patch. They redeemed themselves when they played against Atlanta Reign, but the caveat here is that Atlanta Reign really looked out of sorts, so it wasn't like they put up a huge fight. However, London itself, they did look clean, they did look confident on this meta. It was great to see some of the players back in with Birdring. I loved seeing him back on Widowmaker, etc. And his Brig was great. And I think if they're playing to their strengths, they should potentially have it. This is a really hard one to call.
Yeah, I'm interested to see, actually. There was a stat that ran there that they have the second highest team fight win rate, which is really interesting. I think this is a really important match for the London Spitfire, more so perhaps than Philadelphia. They have to start getting in and getting wins when it matters. And Gesture and Profit should be in a meta where they can start becoming, as they have been since they first came onto the scene, the best duo in the whole of Overwatch. They are currently unbeaten, by the way, in championships ever. Like, they've never lost a championship since they started being pro players, which is unbelievable, especially Profit, who is potentially the best player that we have in the whole of the league. We don't talk about this guy enough. Second in overall elimination, second in final blows, holds the league record by a country mile in final blows per deaths as a single match, and is 7th overall if you add them all up together. This duo is like nothing else we've ever seen in Overwatch, and I want to show you guys what they're capable of, but at the moment, they're not quite playing up to that. So I want them to get back into that form because they are beautiful to watch.
Either way, there's never a bad match between the Spitfire and the Fusion.
True.
Like, yeah. And like the Fusion, the Gladiators have a mix of players speaking different languages, and their main support, BigGoose, is going to great lengths to communicate with his Korean teammates by learning theirs. We'll check in on that progress that Goose has been making next on the Watchpoint Preshow.
The Overwatch League is powered by Intel. Game, record, stream without compromise on Intel Core i7. And by Omen by HP, the official PC and display of the Overwatch League.
The international makeup of the Overwatch League's players adds an interesting layer when you consider how important communication is to succeeding. That's why LA Gladiators main support BigGoose is putting in work after hours to learn Korean, and he's already reaping the benefits right now.
안녕하세요. 저는 빅구스예요. 오버워치 선수예요. 팀 이름이 LA Gladiators예요. 반갑습니다. I don't know, something is interesting about the Korean language. A lot of the letters in Korean sound similar to Finnish when you pronounce them.
제 직업은 선생님이에요. 선생님.
선생님.
네, what is 선생님?
Teacher.
Teacher, good.
Hello, my name is Hyunjung Sophie An. I'm an English and Korean instructor for esports teams. I'm working as a Korean faculty member at USC, but for a few years, I've been teaching Korean and English for several different esports teams.
직업.
Excellent. 직업.
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 The LA Gladiators was the first team who contacted me to get into this world. I didn't know anything about esports before. So when I arrived, there were so many computers and I was thinking, maybe they're hackers or something. I was not familiar with any of the terms. Sometimes I didn't know the Korean word, self-destruct. Like self-destruct, what? Wow, that's so scary. Tilted. Or this tilted like English word, but he's tilted. Like, what do you mean? He's throwing. What do you mean? He's throwing something, he's throwing the game. That actually got me into the game, so I started playing. And my favorite hero is Widowmaker. But anyways, I'm so bad. But I can now play with the real human beings, not robots. I'm happy about that. BigGoose is progressing so well. The best thing about him is he's always motivated.
안녕하십니까?
네.
안녕하세요.
안녕하세요.
이름이 뭐예요?
빅구스예요.
팀 이름이 뭐예요?
LA Gladiators예요.
직업이 뭐예요?
오버워치 선수예요.
주 캐릭터가 뭐예요?
저 캐릭터는 루시오예요.
잘하네 한국말.
Right now, it like helps socially. Sometimes you can go like, oh, what does this mean if I read out like a word or something that I don't understand what it means. It like might help break down a wall or two when it comes to like socializing with other players.
이랑 커뮤니케이션 하려는 노력이 되게 많이 보여서 저희는 다 구주를 좋게 생각하고 있고 한국어 배우는 것도 저희랑 좀 더 친해지고 노력하는 거라서
As a teacher, I'm so happy and I'm always having fun teaching him.
국어 선생님이에요.
네. After you're done with your career, you'll have another skill. It's nice to have something maybe that it's not like common. I don't think it's very common for Finland people able to speak Korean. I found it very interesting at the start and I'm having fun with the lessons.
팀 이름이 뭐예요?
LA Gladiators예요.
Really good stuff there with BigGoose. Now, if you're anywhere near California or Instagram this weekend, you know that Coachella is going down in the desert as we speak. There are some household names performing, but there are also some lesser known bands. So we're going to play a game called Coachella or Contenders. I say a name, and the analysts guess whether it's a Coachella band or a Contenders team. And historical contender teams are in play here, guys, all right?
Oh no.
And
I'm gonna lose this.
by the way, the winner gets this flower clown.
Oh, nice.
Well, now I have to win because I'm going to look fabulous in that.
All right, so we're going to start with you, all right? You ready?
Please don't. Sure.
Contenders or Coachella? Bazooka puppies.
That's Contenders.
That's an easy one.
Yeah.
Got it.
Nailed it.
Got it. Next, super organism. This is for you, Zoe.
This is you.
Oh, it's
Yeah,
me too.
I'm still
Okay. Coachella.
All right. Two
Not
for two.
bad.
Next, tainted minds.
Ooh, Contenders.
She got it. She got it.
These are so easy.
Three
Give it
for
all the
three.
easy ones for Zoe.
All right, moving on to Brent. Soccer mommy.
What?
Coachella.
All right, you got it. Cyclowns.
Oh, Contenders.
No, that was right.
That was right. That was right.
Production,
I
he was right.
casted them at
He
take
was
number
right.
2. What is this?
You were right. You're 2 for 2. All right. Alter ego.
Coachella.
That was wrong.
Unlucky
That was the
stuff.
Contenders. All right, moving on to you, Sideshow.
I've got them all right up to this point, and I'm going to be
Here we go.
on some weird
Here we go.
ones.
Ice Age.
Coachella.
Rest in pajamas.
Well, that's Contenders.
No, it was. They're doing that to mess with you.
I know
obviously.
these teams.
All right, last
Don't
but not
mess
least,
with me.
one more. Nocturnal Sunshine.
It's gotta be.
Coachella. Surely.
Got them all right. You got
Be
3 for 3.
Coachella.
Oh,
All
I
right.
don't know. There's some
We gotta
weird
break this
Pacific
tie.
teams
We
out
gotta
there.
break this tie right now, Sideshow and Zoe. All right, so I'm gonna read one for you, Zoe. Ready? Jupiter.
Coachella.
That's Contenders, Pacific. Sideshow, last one.
I didn't know that.
Let's eat grandma.
Wait, what? That's gotta be.
Would they allow that in Contenders? That's got to be Coachella.
It is. All right. And our winner is Sideshow. Everybody give it up for Sideshow.
Crown-
Our winner.
Look beautiful.
Crown him. Look at him. Oh, so cute. Lovely, guys. And that was Coachella, our Contenders. Now, neither the Fusion or the Spitfire are playing Coachella, but they will be playing here on our Blizzard Arena stage in less than 10 minutes. We've got our predictions for today's matches coming right up on the Watchpoint pre-show presented by State Farm.
Coca-Cola is the official refreshment of the Overwatch League.
Here are the analyst predictions for today. Zoe likes the Fusion over London, and Brent is picking Toronto to beat Dallas. Everyone has Vancouver to stay undefeated, and the Gladiators to beat Guangzhou. Zoe, back up your Philly pick against Sideshow in a 30-second face-off. Go.
All
Now,
right.
I know what you're thinking. I know what you're thinking. London, they've only beaten Mayhem and Atlanta, two not so good teams. You can't put your faith in them too much. Birdring doesn't look like it's popping off that well. But at the end of the day, when it comes down to it, I just think they're going to win.
All right, so here's the thing. I understand why you're picking the London Spitfire. I do think that Prophet is absolutely brilliant. He is so consistent always. And, you know, generally London Spitfire has been looking a little bit better than the Philadelphia Fusion. So, yeah, I can understand your pick there, Josh.
You've convinced me.
That was the most polite debate that we've ever had here.
Very reasonable. I'm glad we came to an
And they're
agreement.
shaking at the end. All right, guys. Well, that does it for the Watchpoint pre-show presented by State Farm. We'll see you guys at halftime, but until then, enjoy the matches.